gazing at computer screens. But in the center of the room was a large metal ring, cables connected all over its arch, and in the middle was the tear between the two universes. The stranger floated over to the portal, unseen by human eyes and undetected by their instruments. After all, they could not detect souls. He passed through the portal and found himself on another world. The room looked similar to the one on Earth, with just as many people working around it. The stranger floated upward, passing through the ceiling and then into the light of day. He looked down at the camp, the military barracks and the walls, and then he flew away and came to a stop on a hill a few kilometers away. The stranger drew his power around him, gathering the nearby matter and creating a physical body for himself around his soul. He had ascended long ago, had learned complete control over his soul and his power, but he had still been born with the physical body. He was not like chaos and order. He could not survive for any great length of time without a physical body, as he was a matter-based being. His new body finished, he cast his mind around himself. He noticed immediately that the breach connecting the two universes was stable, which was a surprise. He had observed events such as this one before, but every time it had occurred, the universes merged fully and violently. By the time the merging was finished, there was nothing left of what had existed before. But here, it was different. The breach had somehow merged the two universes in a somewhat controlled manner. The stranger could clearly feel that the rules here were the same as on the Earth that existed through the portal. The laws of both universes had been changed, yet both had survived. It was unprecedented, at least in his experience. The stranger focused his mind and looked deeper, searching for any signs of chaos and order. He didn't feel their presence, not even the echoes that he had felt in the other universe. They were not here yet. They might not even know about what had occurred. The two could not cross over to matter-based universes easily, and they rarely did so, instead putting just a piece of themselves through, which was often enough for their purposes. The stranger sighed in relief. If they hadn't noticed yet, he had a chance to strike at them. He knew that a piece of them was on the other side of the portal, and he needed only to find that piece. He allowed himself a small smile. After several thousands of years, he would finally have a chance at retribution. Slowly, he started pulling his senses back when his power brushed against something else. Immediately, the stranger cursed, trying to think of something to mask himself, but it was already too late. He felt a new presence behind him as another being stepped out of a tear in space and onto the ground. "Who are you?" the being, a Titan, asked. The stranger grimaced without turning around. He had no time to waste on one of them. "I have not seen you before. Tell me who you are and what you are doing here, or I will kill you where you stand," the Titan threatened. The stranger rolled his eyes before turning around. He didn't like interacting with the being's little club. Their arrogance grated on his nerves. The stranger turned and studied the being for a moment. He had long blonde hair and pointed ears. He looked almost exactly like the beings in the stories he liked as a child. That, however, did not mean that this was the Titan's true form. "I was not aware that this cluster had been claimed by one of you. Hestia did not mention it," the stranger said, hoping that Hestia's name would prevent any rash actions on the being's part. The being narrowed his eyes at him. "Hestia